Tampa Bay team
Keyshawn Johnson.
The Tampa Bay team he won a Super Bowl with doesn't really respect him. Like,
because those are Tony Dungy's players.
And besides that, it's been 9 years since he coached, period. It's been 12 years since he coached a playoff game.
He drafted Josh Freeman.
So it's like you can't say, what have you done for me lately? When it's like, bruh, what have you done for me lately?
Shout out to Janet Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. So with the whole Gruden thing, it's like, bro, just be quiet. Just be quiet. You're calling out people you haven't even met. You haven't even met these players and you're calling them out. That's not how you build relationships. That's not how you get the best out of your players.
But
plus,
trading Cordell Patterson and cutting Clive Walford is just a better version of Miguel Rivera. So I slandered Miguel Rivera enough. That's why no one talks about him anymore. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, boo to crappy tight ends.
Yeah, man. So with Gruden, it just irks me because like I'm tired of it. With good organizations like the Spurs, like the Patriots, like Green Bay, like the Steelers, they do their best, and the Steelers aren't the best example recently. Really, neither is Green Bay. But usually,
Green Bay got Mo Wilkinson.
Usually they keep things in house. They don't go to the media. They don't call each other out in the media. They stand together. And Gruden's really not doing that. Like, he's really just saying whatever he wants. And it's like, bro, just go to your lab and just be quiet and duck the questions and go back to coaching cliches.
Stick to football.
Yeah.
Like you said about Kaepernick. Never mind.
I never said that, but all right.
No, not you, but he said some really foul stuff about Kaepernick. But then said he'll still be in the camp. He got beaten up by Blaine Gabbert. I'm just like, my eye rolled on the back of my head. I had a mini rictus of a stroke when he said that.
Yeah, and he also said he doesn't want instant replay anymore. Which,
dude, you were part of the Tuck rule.
Yeah, and I'm not completely against getting rid of instant replay just because it does slow the game down and everything looks like a penalty. And yeah, so
maybe because it's a really fast game, we got a really fast pace. But you want to talk about everything being a penalty? Let's talk about some new rules, some new house rules.
Go ahead.
All right. The first one being the new targeting rule. I mean, yeah, I'll let you get to the funner ones, but the targeting rule, pretty much, you could be flagged, ejected, and fined, depending on how low you target and hit someone, which is terrible because they could call it on running backs now, essentially. So let's say a guy like Marshawn Lynch could get ejected for running someone
and
off.
Linemen, defensive and offensive
literally,
linemen,
literally job,
anybody on the field.
Your physical job as a lineman in the
wide
run
receivers
game,
blocking,
crackbacks. My head is attached to my shoulders, so I'm leading with my head, even if I'm leading with my shoulder, because it's attached to my body. Because you can't just move the strike zone to my belly button when it was like at my chest and stomach area.
You can't just move.
You can't make the dot smaller.
You can't just move the strike zone when we've been playing with the same strike zone our entire lives, and then just expect us to be able to do that at a efficient rate.
Because then dudes who are soft and can't actually tackle and have terrible technique will just hide behind that and not really wrap up. And that's how you get hurt even worse.
And Tim Brown even said, like, if you're going to institute this rule to where you can call it on anybody in the field, you need to have more players because a lot of people are going to get ejected.
Everyone's saying that. A lot of people are going to get ejected. Not only that, NFLPA president, Players Association president Eric Winston said, are you going to find the position coaches too? Because that's something you should do. If you're going to find the player, find the position coach because they're the one teaching the technique.
I mean, that's a fair point, but at the same time, it's like...
It's true.
It's like finding your sales manager for your salesperson, like doing some shady shit and taking tips or cutting corners.
If you do something bad at your job,
at the end of the day, it's on the person and their personal decision.
If you do something bad at your job, it falls back on your superiors, does it not?
Well, I think the win and loss record is going to fall on the position coach either way. So either way, they're still going to be held accountable.
Yeah, remember the guy?
I see what you're saying as far as like making it fair, but at the same time, that's not really.
If you're going to take money out the player's pocket, you should probably take a portion out of the position coach's pocket at the end of the year. Like, oh, well, your team got this.
I don't think so.
I think that should be the way to do it. Because remember when that was the Jets position coach tripped a guy when he was going to score a touchdown, and he got fired immediately.
I mean, at this point in your career, like, how much technique are you really being taught? You're more being taught
Angles.
Adjustments. Yeah. Like at this level, coaching is more about like adjustments and seeing different things and identifying strengths and weaknesses more than it is going over specific techniques, because these guys have all been in different systems. They've all had different coaches. They all work out on their own. Like, they take care of their technique. They do what's best for them. Like, technique is not new to them. It's not like high school level where you're like really going step by step every single day. Like,
and you have safeties playing linebacker now, so if it's a faster game, well, expect faster collisions. Expect when you have guys who are like Tremont Edmonds size at 6'4", 6'5", 250, running faster than a lot of wide receivers and running backs, coming downhill and smacking somebody. You're going to eject him for making a good play?
I mean, we've already talked about this many times. You know how I feel is like, we can't pretend that football is not a violent game.
I'm saying.
We can't pretend that it doesn't cause head injuries, because it does. It's a matter of accepting it. It's a matter of the NFL taking responsibility for that by giving their players health insurance and taking care of them into their late ages.
Which they won't do.
Exactly. So they're going to put it back on the players and make them responsible for adapting their game. So they can say, well, we told you it caused injuries, and we told you shouldn't have been hitting helmet to helmet. So sorry that you're still doing it, and sorry that you're getting concussions, but it's not really our fault, because you already signed this concussion lawsuit saying that you now know football gives you CTE, and we don't owe you shit because we're telling you not to hit head to head anyways.
And as a lineman, I'd be really pissed off.
Yeah, man, because like, if you're a defensive lineman, you really can't do anything about your head running into somebody's shoulder pad. Like,
and
every single play.
As a big boy, like, you're designed, like, as an offensive lineman, I literally, like, I can't do my job now. I can't do my job in any way if you're going to, like, even if I don't lead with my head, it'll look like I'm leading with my head. Because when I get in close and engage with somebody, and let's say I have them hemmed up, well, guess what? Well, let's say our face masks get tangled up. You're going to throw a flag on that? And then I think they were trying. It's stupid.
And that's my other point is, like,
it's flag football now. There's no need for linemen anymore. There's no need for offensive linemen.
Exactly. If we're going to pretend that football isn't a violent game,
all you need
let's
is
take
center.
the pads off. Let's take the helmets off, because
that would kill the pass rusher market, though.
Really, the helmets are the weapon. They're the most dangerous thing. They're the projectile.
Because eventually,
that's the issue.
If you run into somebody full speed with no
helmet,
you're both going to get knocked out. That's how it works. You play chicken.
And we all know that just playing backyard football in the streets. Like,
accidentally hitting your head hard enough, you realize, oh, I lost function in my leg.
I shouldn't do that.
I feel tingling in my arm. Probably not going to do that one again. Let me sit out a couple plays because I feel woozy. Whatever.
All right, so the next rule,
pass interference,
changed at the owners' meeting this week. Pass interference was not changed. It is still spot foul because
they're trying to make it a 15-yard penalty, which it should be, I guess.
Well, their argument was that professional defensive backs will strategically, just sort of hold and take the 15-yard penalty if they're beat deep in the end zone, which I could probably see Sean Smith doing, and DJ Hayden, and pretty much anyone who's played Raiders corner over the past 10 years.
That's messed up. Sean Smith is in jail, man. That's foul.
Okay.
You could say David Amerson.
Okay, but Sean Smith wasn't one of the most penalized corners.
But the man is in jail right now.
No, man, and I love Sean Smith. He's a Pasadena native, and I know he got into trouble for basically
defending his sister's honor.
Yeah, man. So I'm not slandering him. I'm slandering his football play. So
And
that's fair.
Also, if we're gonna talk about that and the whole pass interference thing,
the catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically they simplified the catch rule by taking out some of the language and basically saying you need to get 2 feet down or body part, make a football move, and that's about it.
Some other this other hidden context that makes no sense that we'll just wait until it plays out. And you're like, that's the stupidest thing I ever saw. We're like, yeah, that's the change they made in the catch rule. Because now that the new catch rule is in effect, that means Dez Bryant's touchdown, should have been a touchdown, was a catch. He caught it.
Jesse James's catch.
Jesse James was a catch.
Calvin Johnson's catch.
Which Calvin Johnson should have always been a catch. But, hey, thanks for that. Man, it's just it's amazing how, like, they say they're trying to make it a safer league. It's like, how can we make this car crash safer? So instead of 3 people dying, only 2 people die. And
pretty much.
Only person who doesn't die is a quadriplegic, but we're not going to give any of them insurance. That's the wiggle. And then we're going to televise it and put it in all these different markets. And then we're going to teach young kids how to be crash test dummies. And then when they go to college, shout out to Arian Foster, we're going to make sure they can't actually major in something that'll make them money or make their lives better. We're going to make them major in whatever fits the schedule that we give them so they could be the best crash test dummies possible. Damn, that was actually probably my most
That was actually a
intelligent.
really good metaphor.
Thank you.
Touchdowns to Tangent Show. That's what we do. We make football nerdery relate to culture and society. So yeah, basically with the catch, it's just another iteration of a rule that nobody understands, so we're still going to have the same issues even though it's supposed to be more simple. It's almost too simple to where, like, it's kind of like, you're pulling the fast one on me. Like, I know there's more to a catch than this per the rule book, even though we all kind of know what a catch is. So I don't really know. We'll see how it plays out, like you said. The other rule change was there's not going to be any more PATs after game-winning field goals. So effectively, we'll have walk-off touchdowns. Yep, exactly. So, like, for instance, the
Minnesota play, Marcus Williams will just not have to live with the embarrassment of lining up on a field goal block.
Yep. And let's be real. Either nobody tries or there's that one dude who tries to hurt you on that PAT.
And we all hate that guy. We follow that guy to his car. His teammates talk trash about him during the game. I mean, like, in the locker room when no one else is around. Because it was just unnecessary. It's like, bro, where was all that aggression on that 4th down or any part of the game because you're a backup special teams nose tackle? Where was all that smoke when we needed it? The fire's dead now. Just embers.
All right, man. So let's move on to the rapid fire segment of the show. So I got a couple of different headlines going on. I'll give them to you, and you can tell me if there are a touchdown or a turnover. Let's go there first. Okay, Rob Gronkowski. He's still playing football for the moment, but he is also going to star in the next Mel Gibson movie. Is this a touchdown or a turnover? It's an action flick.
Okay, as long as it's not a remaking of The Passion of the Christ. Gorge Fest. That's the biggest form of torture porn I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, it's only the story of Christianity, but okay.
And Jesus was white. Like, I'm going to believe that. But just no one needs to see. No one needs. So
you're just slandering a bunch of people's.
Oh, the Europeans. But anyway, no one needs.
Okay, you're slandering my beliefs, and I'm not European. So.
You really think Jesus was white? We really gonna have this
Yeah, we are.
You really think Jesus was white?
No, it doesn't really matter what he would look like.
It kind of does, because it's like, if we're gonna base it off genetics, black people.
We're not. It's faith and religion. You can't base that off genetics or science.
I just don't think you should just make a movie.
That's why it's called faith and religion, because it doesn't make sense.
I really wasn't with making a movie off that when, like, we have the Bible and other things. Like, I didn't need the visual. Really, how many times have they made, like, And here's where Judas
again though.
But anyway,
you've already slandered Christianity like
I'm
3
not
times.
No, I'm slandering
You've
like
already
torture
slandered
porn movies.
You've already slandered